I think we've seen a small resurgence in the popularity of the 3D platformer, from both big AAA studios and smaller indie outfits that are keeping the spirit of the late 90s and early 2000s alive, with cutesy anthropomorphic critters or stubby humans jumping for their lives over bottomless pits. But not long ago, there was a rather big gap of entries in the genre, and Playtonic's Yooka-Replaylee sought to fill it back in 2017. The highly anticipated Kickstarter success released to middling reviews, and it kind of took the wind out of the notion that players still really wanted a classic 3D platformer experience. Yooka-Replaylee now gives the troubled platformer another shot at greatness, expanding on and refining a lot of what failed to work the first time, and largely turning things around for the better. In addition, Playtonic has added new story beats and cutscenes that slot nicely between gameplay sections, and continue the obsessively pun-based comedy the franchise has come to be known for. It's a very love it or hate it brand of writing, but I've begrudgingly become endeared to it after having a great time with their second game, Yooka-Replaylee and the Impossible Lair. Since I'd never played the original, I took a look at past impressions, and the largest complaints revolved around issues with the camera, stiff platforming controls, and largely empty play spaces. But none of these concerns would describe my time with Yooka-Replaylee. I can't recall a single wonky camera issue. Yooka-Replaylee felt great to control, and most levels were packed with inventive puzzles, platforming challenges, or one-off minigames that made Pagey Collection, the currency that unlocks later levels, an addictive loop of just one more before realizing I'd nearly 100%ed the stage. The improvements don't stop there. Thoughtful tweaks to the old progression mechanics of the game, like starting each area in their fully expanded form, ripping out the pace-destroying quiz sections, and giving you immediate access to all the game's movement abilities, make exploration on stages feel like a breezy victory lap. I died very rarely, and when I did, the default penalty is only the loss of a few coins, of which I had plenty to spare. Tonics return with additional options and slots, which allow you to customize the difficulty with modifiers like fall damage, one-hit kills, or extra hearts, but there's no real incentive to use any of them. Tonics in the Impossible Lair would add multipliers to your collection of other currencies, which made them a strategic choice in some cases, but both coins and quills accumulate quickly, and the game doesn't give you much to spend them on besides cosmetics. Speaking of looks, the remastered visuals are a noticeable upgrade. The 4K textures and improved lighting impress, along with reactive landscape effects like trampled grass or trudged through snow. Character animations are fluid and expressive. The music has also seen a complete overhaul with orchestral renditions replacing the old soundtrack, but only a small number of tracks hit me as standout tunes, despite the legendary pedigree of David Wise and Grant Kirkhope. I did experience very minor performance issues occasionally. While entering new areas, specifically the larger overworld, the game would stutter for a few short moments as if it were still loading. These hiccups were few and far between, but disruptive when present. It's something I'm hopeful some further optimization can eventually knock out. As per several past reviews of Yooka-Replaylee, the game stuck too closely to outdated gameplay ideas and arrived slightly underbaked. I'm happy to say that Yooka-Replaylee addresses every single one of those complaints and throws in a visual and audio upgrade to meet the high bar of 3D platforming nostalgia that lives rent-free in your head. It's worth a look if you were greatly disappointed in what Yooka-Replaylee could have been in 2017, but might be doubly so if you're playing it for the first time. The game is out October 9th for $29.99 on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch.